Okay, so 7.6 is sine and cosine ratios. Remember last time we did tangent. This is 2 additional ratios that you need to memorize. These are a different setup. These are including the hypotenuse where the tangent did not. So even though they're abbreviated as SIN and COS, we still pronounce them as sine and cosine, just like TAN is tangent. These 2 formulas, remember there's 3 parts to every formula. There's the angle measurement, and then there's 2 side lengths. The sine of angle A is opposite over hypotenuse. So angle A is here, the opposite leg would be BC, the hypotenuse is AB. Be careful that you don't get adjacent leg and hypotenuse confused. The cosine of angle A is adjacent leg, which would be here, and hypotenuse would be here. So today, just like we did the other day, they're gonna give you the angle measurement. One of these 2 is gonna be missing, and that's what you're gonna solve for. Eventually, next lesson, one of these 3 will be missing, and you'll be able to work backwards to find that angle measurement, just not today. Okay, this is a shortcut SOHCAHTOA to help you remember all your formulas. There's lots of different stories to help you remember it. A lot of them involve having an infected toe, SOHCAHTOA. I won't share that with you right now, but what you need to remember, SOHCAHTOA, sine opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent opposite over adjacent. That can be really helpful, and typically if you write that on a test or a quiz, it can help you remember the correct order. So moving on, let's look at the first examples here. So for this one, we are given the hypotenuse and we're given an angle. Remember, just like last time for tangent, you cannot find sine, cosine, or tangent of a 90-degree angle. It has to be one of these 2 acute angles. So in this case, let's start with sine because that's our first new one for today. So we're going to do the sine of 50 degrees equals opposite, which is B, and the hypotenuse is 10. So once you set it up, we're solving it very similar to the way we did it last time with tangent. So to get B by itself, we have to get this 10 out of the denominator, which means we're going to multiply by 10 on both sides. So if you don't already have out your Desmos, get that out please. Make sure that you go to that little wrench and make sure that it's in degrees. So I need to know what B is rounded to the 10th place. 10 times the sine of 50. Anyone have that for me?
7.7.
Good job. So B is 7.7. Let's do the cosine of 50 to find out what A is. So cosine of 50, the formula says adjacent over hypotenuse. This is my adjacent leg. The hypotenuse is 10. These are different kind of formulas. So similar idea, we're going to multiply both sides by 10. So in Desmos, we're going to do 10 times the cosine of 50. Remember, be really careful when you put that in. Do not put it in like this. This is incorrect, unless you put parentheses around it, because this will do the cosine of 500. The calculator is going to multiply those angle measurements first, and you don't want that. So this is your best way to put these kinds of problems in. 10 times the cosine of 50. Does somebody have that for me?
6.4.
Good. So not too much different than what we did last time. The only difference today is that we have the hypotenuse involved in 2 new formulas. Let's do one more example together. Very, very similar example. So we're going to do sine first because I see 35. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Remember, going forward, make sure that you only have one unknown. I know the angle, I know the hypotenuse, I don't know that opposite. So for example, I could not start this problem by doing tangent because the tangent of 35 is opposite over adjacent. I have 2 unknowns, so that's not a good way to start this. So I'm going to start this with sine of 35, opposite over hypotenuse. Similar kind of problem, we're going to multiply both sides by 12. So in your calculator, 12 times the sine of 35. Does anybody have that for me? Rounded to the 10th place. What you got?
6.9.
Good. So we have E as 6.9, we still have to find F. So we're gonna do cosine because F is adjacent. So cosine of 35, adjacent over hypotenuse. Similar kind of setup. We're gonna multiply both sides by 12. So in your calculator, I need the cosine of 35 times 12, or 12 times the sine of code. Let me say that again. 12 times the cosine of 35. You got it?
9.8.
Okay, your homework is posted over here, and I am gonna talk about the project for you.